glad to have you join me on another exciting edition of Visual Impressions on NTA. My name is Mohammed, and the launch of the Arts Artistry exhibition at the Nikkei Art Gallery was a great success. The exhibition was spearheaded by Nigerian leading artist Nike Okundaye, who is actively giving back to the community by offering emerging young artists Kola-Lawal an invaluable opportunity to showcase his talent in her gallery. Now, the displayed works were truly unique, featuring a creative blend of Adire fashion and painting on fabrics. Let's all take a look.
That's mine. Hello.
The title of this installment or exhibition is Artistry Alchemy, and this is the second phase of it. Yeah, from the first one that we hosted in Lagos at the National Museum, so there's a need to extend this to the capital because we have the largest gallery here and museum, and we want to also inspire the general public to see what we are doing. Whether you're an African or you are an American, European, Asian, everyone uses the comb to comb. The whole work is fabric art, but the general one you're looking at that have more physical presence here is the aspect of what I call fabric sculptures. We have known fabric to be like a simple material, flat base, but in this exhibition, you'll see that I have been able to solidify them into cubes, and that is a kind of extension, the new extension of my work. All works are, every piece here is my favorite, but there are some of them that are critical to engage discussion because of how I was inspired to do them, and such as some of them that are large, that occupy the large space and all that. So because the collections of ideas and inspiration from many places I have been to, and the time it took me to put them together. So I would really like to talk about some of those ones.
This is a great achievement for the Nickel Gallery and also for the artist who is doing the exhibition today. This artist, professor is here, is going to say something after our Excellency. So I have to thank you very much for taking time from your busy schedule to come and be with us. Thank you, Your Excellency, and thank you, our excellent friend. And then we have the Japanese. The Japanese people come all the way from Japan to come and do exhibition with the Nikkei Art Gallery. This will be the 5th international exhibition we have with a different country. The first one was the Czech Republic, then after that the Spanish, from 6 countries in Africa, they call it the Blue People of Africa. Then after that we have the South Korea, then we have the, anyway, now we have Usoma. Usoma, where are you? Come out. Yes. This artist has inspired a lot of youth. In fact, in Odidi, my village, she went to run a workshop there for 265 women who are grandmother, great-grandmother, and their grandchildren. And how everybody now is making a living from this scrap he teach them, and they turn it to work. So their workshop is now from Usama, is one of the teachers. And I thank you for doing this exhibition here. His work is an award-winning artist, and his work just won an award in Texas. So we thank you for bringing this exhibition here. I'm just going to say our Excellency to say something, because they come all the way for you. They were in Lagos, and for just a short period. A lot of people, when they say come, they go, they live in African time. Maybe by 5 o'clock is when some people will be coming. But anyway, we thank you for coming, and to all the students who model today. I want you to clap for yourself.
Professor also, that you have been teaching so great students, and also for this performance today. I'm amazed what you have done. Thank you so much. My name is Solveig. I work at the Norwegian Embassy, Norway. It's a long way from Norway to Nigeria, but I've been here for a year now, and I met Mama Nika several times. I'm always happy to meet her, and she's showing me around. I think that's the best part of Nigeria, is what you have here. And also that I understand that, Usuba, you also are fascinated by snow. And we have a lot of snow in Norway, so I look forward to see you in Norway. I would love to see your art in Norway. Yes, and I enjoy my time here so much. Thank you so much.
Fair preview of the exhibition and what you're about to see. Samuel Uzomayan graduated from the University of Port Harcourt in 2012, having studied there for 4 years for his undergraduate degree. Then, and we have sustained the relationship developed then.
I decide to carry the younger generation in this art because the youth are the future of Nigeria, and their work is their voice. So many times they don't see the work of the artist. So I decide to build a gallery which will make them show their work and also where they can produce their work. So all the work you are seeing here are different artists and they are all from Nigeria. And their work is their voice. And the youth is the future of Nigeria.
Kola-Lawal is a conceptual artist and social specialist whose works explore the dimension of social identities, sustainability, justice, and resilience. Drawing from over 20 years of implementing environmental and social systems across Africa, she has attended the Royal Drawing School in London to redefine her techniques in expressing visual arts and translating real-world issues into her powerful visual narratives. As an experiential artist, she is passionate about combining intuitive designs with research-informed themes, using art to provoke reflections and conversations around the social environment challenges of our time. Let's take a look at those beautiful artworks she has created using a very unique art medium called pastel.
I spent the past 25 years working as an environmental specialist. My work has taken me across Africa, across the African continent. I'm just working with organizations, working with people, communities, trying to help them understand what their impact on the environment is and how they can manage the impact that they have on the environment because of their business activities. So that work really exposes me a lot to people, exposes me to communities, and I've seen the connections between business activities, environment, people, and that helps me to channel all that into visual art, where I'm able to, not just capture what I'm seeing through data, but to capture it with pictures and with drawings. When you work in the environment space, so if I go on a site visit, for instance, I don't go and I don't sit in a boardroom. I go into a field, I go into forests, I go into sites where projects are meant to be built. And those projects are built within communities. So you get to meet people, you see the way that people engage with the world, you see the way they engage with corporate entities, you see the struggles people have, and you see how people engage with themselves in a very complex world. So that is a huge story to tell. And there are lots of problems in the world. So one of the things I try to do is try to pictorially and visually depict what those problems are. Because, a picture like this speaks even more than 1,000 words. So through my art, I try to show some of the issues of the world, gender inequalities, just general inequality, the resilience and the strength people have, vulnerabilities, just a lot of the systems in the world that work in a particular way. So my career has really helped me to see the world from a very specific perspective, and that's a fundamental platform for my art. When you're an artist, obviously you have to, before you get to the canvas and start to put whatever medium you're using, charcoal, oil paints, and pastels, before you actually start to create visual art, you have to have an inspiration and something in your mind. And for me, because I have a lot of the mindsets and a lot of the experiences I've had are either around social issues or environmental challenges. So I'll give an example of one. I have a piece called Oil Mirage, and it's really an abstract piece, that tries to depict almost like the very unique beauty, if you want to call it that an oil spill has, because I've seen oil spills firsthand. And the very interesting thing is that if you look just beyond the blackness of the crude oil, you see that it actually is iridescent and it shines out. So I have an abstract piece that shows the blackness of the crude oil, but with the multi-colors that come out of that iridescence, just to show that oil spills are a reality with us, but there's a weird type of beauty that comes out of that. I also have another art piece that depicts a woman, because I'm very interested in gender, but also in waste management. So I've tried to bring these two together in an art piece that is called Ankara Scenes. And what it does is, I've just gone and collected pieces of fabric from tailors that have sewn all types of outfits for us in the country. I cut up these pieces and made a huge skirt, just depicting a woman sitting on a chair wearing pieces of upcycled Ankara. So I try to bring in all these themes where, themes I'm very passionate about, that I feel an urgency about communicating into the art that I make. One doesn't really exclude the other. Visual art is one of the strongest forms of communication. It seems very quiet, but it touches the heart. If I show you an image now or an artwork, 10 different people can see 10 different aspects of one single artwork. So art history is a very important method that you can push activism forward, that you can communicate messages in a way that maybe even words cannot. And art history and visual art can actually touch people, like I said, in ways that direct activism may not. One of the things you want to do with activism really is to bring about change, is it not? And art is a very emotive way of making people see a problem, connect with it, and maybe change their hearts and change their minds about what they want to do about that problem or how they want to relate to it. And I see an issue in society, and I want to be able to put that down on the canvas. So I have an urgent message I want to communicate. But you can't really do that without, by ignoring the beauty. You also want to create beautiful lines. You want to use color. You want to be able to create a piece that draws the viewer, so that when they see it, they're drawn by the beauty, the symmetry, the colors, and then they can try to figure out what the message is. So it's the two things. You're creating beauty, and while you're also communicating a message. As an artist, sometimes I see art as a vocation. It's almost like it's given to you. You wake up and then you think, I want to create a piece. Like I said, you feel urgent about a message. But when you start to create the piece, you are almost driven to choose your subject and to choose the manner in which you depict that subject. So the neutral tones that you see in my art, funny enough, I don't even realize that they are neutral tones. People tell me that they are neutral tones. That's what naturally comes out. And I think, on introspection, I think it has a lot to do with the matching that color tone with what it is I'm trying to say. So if I'm trying to depict the morbidness or the seriousness of an issue, then I would use a very strong and neutral tone to do that, a strong deep tone, for instance. And I'm very interested in women. Women are strong while being vulnerable. Women have been historically marginalized. Women are emotive, they're emotional. And I think that art historically, not all art, but a lot of art has objectified women. So I seek to portray the woman for who she is, her emotions, what she must be going through, obviously being a woman myself, and try to invite people to look a little bit beyond just the form of a woman and look at the person that a woman is, the place she lives in the world, who she interacts with, the experiences she's had, the pressures that are on her, whether good or bad, and how she really engages with the world and what she feels. Like I mentioned earlier, art is a huge form of visual expression. We work in a world, or we live in a world today where there are policies, there's data, there's a lot of information that shows us what the issues in the world are, but we don't always connect with the issues. So I'm hoping that my art will, and not just my art, all art, will invite people to not just enrich their minds, but we invite people to engage what the issues in the world are, and will hopefully create, like I said, an emotive change in people that means that they will make a difference, or they will go out and make a difference. If you see an artwork that depicts hunger, or that depicts the problems we have in our criminal justice system, for instance, then hopefully that helps you to see that issue from a perspective that is unique. It helps the issue to touch you at a level where you get up and you actually take an action. So I'm hoping that my art will serve as an invitation to the world, to people, to understand issues from a different perspective, to be emotional, to connect emotionally with those issues, and to do something about it, to actually make a change.